Concerto to the outside. And they're off. Diamond Concerto broke outward, but did break alertly. Here's Mr. Suds joining the party, and Mr. Dreamsicle along the inside. Handsome Harry won from the rail. It's a compact group as they run down the back stretch. Mr. Suds just in front. At the rail, Mr. Dreamsicle, and Mr. Dreamsicle now up to take the lead. Handsome Harry is in between those two, and Diamond Concerto now 3 off the pace. Half mile to run, Mr. Dreamsicle contested by Handsome Harry in between, and on the outside of them, it's Mr. Suds as they race in program order. Diamond Concerto 4 lengths off them, 3 furlongs to run. Mr. Dreamsicle to catch. Opens up a length. Mr. Suds into second. Handsome Harry fights on between, and nothing yet from Diamond Concerto. They pass the quarter pole with Mr. Dreamsicle in front. Awkward step there for Handsome Harry. On the outside, Mr. Suds. They're coming to the 8th pole, and Mr. Dreamsicle with a commanding edge. It's 4 lengths now on Mr. Suds. And Mr. Dreamsicle is strong at the 16th pole and far too good for them. Mr. Dreamsicle and Giovanni Franco taking care of business by 4 lengths. Mr. Suds and Handsome Harry. The third, the dollar pick 6 starts with race 3, no changes. Angled up in gray to the outside. And they're off. Quick start for Play Chicken. KP Quest is in the firing line early. On the outside of them is Tangled Up in Gray battling with Ferociously. So those two go on with it. It's Ferociously and Tangled Up in Gray on even terms to the half-mile pole. Elector and Play Chicken just behind them. And they're followed by KP Quest, now 5th, 3 off the lead. Elevado, Buck Owens second to last, and Too Much Info trails into the far turn. And it is Ferociously battling with Play Chicken, Tangled Up in Gray just outside of them. Elector 4th with 3 to make up. Elevado, Buck Owens, the gray, has made some headway to be within 4 of them while wide. Then it's another 3 back to KP Quest, and Too Much Info is the trailer. It's Ferociously the leader. Buck Owens continues to rally on the outside. Tangled Elevado trying to get through a very narrow opening inside Play Chicken and Elector, but it's Buck Owens who storms to the front at the 16th pole, and Buck Owens pulls away late. Buck Owens and Hector Barrios will win by 3 lengths. Elector second, Tangled Up in Gray in front of Ferociously and Elevado. They're in the gate, almost. Now they're in. And they're off. More Try is going out to the front. Be Punctual on the outside. Antibes close-up third. And Bert's Prospect down on the inside is tugging pretty hard, as is Antibes. Antibes tough to handle in the opening furlongs. A break of 3 back to Dazzle the Command. And Maxville is at the back of the field. It is More Try sprinting and not taking the turn at all. More Try has bolted, and that leaves Bert's Prospect on the lead. Bert's Prospect, Be Punctual, as More Try has now pulled up. Antibes will settle just off the pace today. He's well spotted, 2 lengths off Bert's Prospect onto the back stretch. 4 more Dazzle the Command and Maxville. Down the back stretch, and it's Bert's Prospect leading by a half length. Be Punctual second. Antibes 3 off them in third. Moving into the far turn, Bert's Prospect maintains a narrow edge. Be Punctual pressing in second. Antibes is just 2.5 off them in third. Then it's another 2. Back to Maxville and Dazzle the Command. Be Punctual has taken the lead past the quarter pole. Antibes will have to go wide into the stretch. At the rail, Bert's Prospect and Maxville has surfaced from the back of the field, splitting rivals. They're in the final furlong. Be Punctual has now wandered, and now it's Bert's Prospect just in front. Antibes in between horses with Maxville. This is one you could never draw up on paper. A wild finish. Here's the line. Photo finish. It's too close to call. Dazzle the Command way off the rail, and Antibes with Maxville in a chart caller's nightmare. Sir Flatter will complete the line. And they're off. Divine Rascal flies out of the gate, opens up a length in the first couple of jumps. Principe comes through, and in between, it's Duty First. Duty First puts the head in front. Divine Rascal, Principe, those three across the track, with Trusty Rusty fourth. Curly Issa taken off the rail, 4 off the lead. 2 back to 10th Street Dawn and Sir Flatter. Past the half-mile pole, it's Principe at the rail, a half length. Duty First keeping up in second. A length and a half, Trusty Rusty, Divine Rascal joined 3 wide by Curly Issa. 10th Street Dawn behind that group, 5 off the lead, and Sir Flatter hard-ridden at the back. Approaching the quarter pole. And it's Principe in front still over Duty First. Just behind them, Trusty Rusty is in third. Divine Rascal is next. The top of the stretch for Principe. Shakes loose by 2 over Dirty First in second. Then comes Trusty Rusty in third, followed by 10th Street Dawn angling off the rail. But in the meantime, Principe waves goodbye. And it's Principe making short work of this group, scoring by 4. Trusty Rusty, Duty First, and 10th Street Dawn in front of Divine Rascal. In the gate. They're off. Even start, Devil Moon, Mano Rose moving up in between horses to flash some early speed as they get to the main course, and Booksmart is flashing his usual sharp early foot and takes over. Jetivator is in fourth, followed by Grazed. King Apollo, 5 or 6 off the lead. A gap of 4 back to Gregorian Chant, Doncic, and Dr. Soulfire. 3 across the course now into the far turn. Mano Rose, Devil Moon between, Booksmart outside of them. Then it's Grazed and Jetivator, a gap of 4 lengths back to King Apollo, who's now 6 off the lead. Doncic, Gregorian Chant, and Dr. Soulfire. They have a quarter of a mile to go. Booksmart on the outside, just in front. Jetivator launching about a 5 wide bid. Grazed 1 from the outside. King Apollo blocked right now, nowhere to go. And Gregorian Chant is also trying to come through. Doncic on the far outside, an absolutely wild finish. Here's Doncic coming after Jetivator and Grazed. 3 Grazed coming for the wire together. Doncic on the outside. Doncic wins right back. Jetivator was second. Then it was Grazed in third, followed by Dr. Soulfire, and it's a battle for fifth, including King Apollo, who had a nightmarish journey. Dimbo Warrior completes the line. And they're off. Lambo is going out for the early lead. Ghost of Midnight has speed. Mystic Flyer broke well and is currently in second. Then it's Departure, who's down at the rail, close up. A gap of 5, Mongolian Gold and Zimbo Warrior. They're heading to the 6-furlong pole with Lambo, the leader, 3/4 of a length. Mystic Flyer and Eager second. 2 more, Departure, inside Ghost of Midnight. Then a gap of at least 8 back to Mongolian Gold and Zimbo Warrior. Straightening up for the run down the backstretch, 5 furlongs out, Lambo narrowly. Mystic Flyer applying a little bit of pressure while under snug restraint second. 2 more, Departure in third. Heavily favored Ghost of Midnight fourth, 3 lengths off the lead. It's now 10 back to Mongolian Gold and Zimbo Warrior. Into the far turn. Lambo's been there throughout. Mystic Flyer, Ghost of Midnight, now inching up after the top pair in third. Departure bottled up in fourth, looking for a seam, one from the rail, not finding it yet. A long way back to Mongolian Gold. And Zimba Warrior is out of the race. They turn for home. And on the outside, getting loose is Ghost of Midnight. Ghost of Midnight and Mystic Flyer are head and head coming past the 8th pole. Ghost of Midnight rests the advantage coming to the 16th with Mystic Flyer in second. It will be Ghost of Midnight. Ghost of Midnight winning it by 2. Mystic Flyer was second, third to Lambo, and Zimba Warrior did get up for fourth. Moogie Sun to the outside. And they're off. Erebus, Red Cross Knight, both out quickly. On the Whim comes through at the rail. Dick Best is in the firing line too. So it's On the Whim and Dick Best going into the first turn together. Druidic is down on the inside. Going wide there, Red Cross Knight. Erebus didn't help him at all as they move into the first turn. Just behind them, Heat and Reheat is next, racing 3 in front of Happy Happy. McGollin Rim is a length and a half in front of his stablemate, Moogie Sun. Then toward the back of the field are Barely Functional and Bravestone. Onto the back stretch, and it's Red Cross Knight and Erebus who go on to tackle On the Whim. Those 3 right across the course. On the Whim fights right back and puts his head in front. Just behind them, Dick Best is next past the half-mile pole with Heat and Reheat. On the outside, steadying and losing ground there was Druidic as Moogie Sun and the bright yellow moves into contention, 4 lengths off the lead. Bravestone is next on the outside of McGollin Rim. At the back, Happy Happy and Barely Functional. It's wide open coming to the quarter pole with On the Whim, Red Cross Knight on the outside, stride for stride as they turn for home. Here comes Moogie Sun with a big bit on the far outside as they come to the 8th pole. Moogie Sun let loose. On the Whim has the lead. Moogie Sun just straightens up at the 8th pole, and he'll battle with On the Whim, who's tough. On the Whim digging in gamely. Moogie Sun on the outside. These two come for the wire together. On the Whim or Moogie Sun. On the Whim. Photo finish. It's close. On the Whim and Moogie Sun. Those two hit it together. Red Cross Knight was in third. Barely Functional came from last. And then among the rest were Heat and Reheat, Dick Best, and McGollin Rim. $1,610.30.
Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Saturday to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for joining us here at St. Eden. If you paid attention so far today at Gulfstream Park, they're well underway. They started at 8 a.m. Pacific time, and of course, their marquee race will be the 13th and final race, the $3 million Pegasus World Cup. And the favorite National Treasure, trained by Bob Baffert, representing the West Coast. The partnership group of SF Racing, Starlight Racing, and others are actually owners in National Treasure. And one of the pioneers for Ownership Syndicate is my special seminar guest today. His name, Billy Cutch. Billy, welcome to the seminar. Happy Saturday.
Did you go pioneer on me?
We're getting old. I gotta use the word pioneer.
And by the way, SF and that's not a syndicate.
Yeah, of course it is. That's a partnership.
That's a partnership.
Okay.
It's very different. That's not a public syndicate.
Well, let's talk about the difference. What's the difference between a partnership and a syndicate?
Well, if you and I owned a horse together,
50-50.
that's a partnership.
Okay.
If Little Red Feather owns a horse, that's a syndicate because we're a
racing manager.
Yeah, we're
LLC.
a group. We're an LLC, right, that owns the horse. So it's very different.
It is very different, but nevertheless,
that was a lob question. You usually ask much tougher questions. Are you okay today?
I am totally fine.
Okay.
So far.
All right.
You were one of the pioneers, using that word again, to recognize the trend of racing. Back when you started Little Red Feather, there were still a lot of individual owners, and you saw, just like in the stock market, the need to basically,
fractional ownership.
Exactly right.
Yeah, it makes it more affordable, less risk. Really, the pioneer was Koch Campbell.
No doubt about it.
He was the guy who we all kind of look up to. Yeah. And the late, great Koch Campbell. And he really started it. And I started in 1991. And the truth was, I wanted to be an owner. I couldn't afford it. I had to get some people together to do it. I mean, that's the truth, Tommy.
Sure.
I mean, and so it just kind of snowballed and snowballed and snowballed. And look at us now. Now we're old.
I know that. That's why
I
tried to tell you. 1991, that's ancient history.
That's ancient history.
It is. But the proliferation of ownership syndicates, West Point Thoroughbreds and My Racehorse, is that good or bad for Little Red Feather in your estimation?
It's all good. We all, we know everybody. And again, My Racehorse is different than West Point or Little Red Feather or Clips. My Racehorse is more what do they call it? Not fractional ownership, but microshares.
Yes.
So that's really tiny. They're breaking it up. 1,000 people might own a horse. So it's different experiences. And to answer your question, it's all good. We're just trying. My goal when I started Little Red Feather way back when was to get people into the game, to get people into horse ownership, and that's literally been my goal all the way along for the last. That's a long time, 30 years, over 30 years. Tom, this is terrible.
It is. I'm sorry to break reality to you at an early hour here in Southern California, but let's see if I can cheer you up. Yeah. I actually want to show the partnership group that owns National Treasure, National Treasure's performance in the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile.
That was a good one.
It was a really good one, and he wound up losing a Horse of the Year, Cody's Wish, right?
He did. Can you imagine if they would have taken him down? I think there would have been
a riot.
A full riot. Horse racing might have been it, Tommy.
Breeders' Cup Day, Saturday, November 4th, the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. National Treasure is going to break from the far outside post. Frank Miramati with the call of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile.
And they're off in the big-ass fans Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. And Skippy Longstocking is hustled hard, but National Treasure's a little bit quicker, and he will set the pace. Charge It is up close in the early going, and down on the inside is Zozos with Shirl's B in the clear, now taking third. It's a gap of 4 to Cody's Wish, and Stage Raider is at the back of the field. Around the clubhouse turn, and National Treasure has made it over to the rail with just under 6 furlongs to run, and leads by a length and a half now to Skippy Longstocking in second. Then Shirl's B third. Charge It, the gray on the outside, fourth, 4 lengths off the lead. Zozo's matching strides with him. It's another 4 back to Cody's Wish, who's now by himself, 3 in front of Stage Raider. They have a half mile left to run, and it's the Preakness winner, National Treasure, carving out the fractions. Has it by a length to Skippy Longstocking second. Shirl's B pushed along from third. Charge It fourth. Cody's Wish is full of run, and he's going to move in between rivals, and there he goes. Cody's Wish is up to take fourth, and he's on the rail, going right by Shirl's B into third, with his sights on National Treasure. National Treasure maintains a 2.5 length lead with a 1/4 mile to go. Cody's Wish takes up the chase, and then Skippy Longstocking in third. Top of the lane, National Treasure digging in, And he's tough to handle, has a length and a half advantage as Cody's Wish is all out trying to get by. Cody's Wish gradually getting the National Treasure, and these two cutting for the wire together. Cody's Wish just in front. National Treasure will fight him all the way. Photo finish, Cody's Wish and National Treasure in a thrilling renewal of the big end.
Beverly Hills High graduate Frank Miramati on the call of the Breeders' Cup Dirt Mile. That actually is warm and dear to your heart, isn't it?
Yeah, the old Beverly Hills High School. I miss that place. The swim gym.
Is that what it was called?
Swim gym.
You know, I didn't grow up in such a
swimming pool.
Of course you did. It was Beverly Hills. Of course you did.
It was amazing.
That race that we just watched, Billy, was a mile distance. Today's distance of the Pegasus World Cup is a mile and an eighth. Big difference. Do you think National Treasure can get the distance today?
I don't worry about National Treasure at the distance. I think this is a really competitive field. And truth be told, Tommy, I was so focused on the Santa Anita races, I barely even looked at this race. But there's some horses. I think Skippy Longstocking's a really good horse. He was right behind National Treasure last time. There's a bunch of horses.
Senor Buscador, we saw run around.
Buscador comes on. I would look and get value.
That's the name of the game. That's the name of the game.
But I changed my tune today. Wait till we get to the pick.
We're going to find out who Billy likes. That's a great tease for the next 30 minutes or so. But before we get Billy's selections, let's toss the microphone over to track announcer Frank Miramati and get the changes on today's Santa Anita card here at the Great Race Place.
Hi, Frank.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park, the Great Race Place. Here are the early changes. The track is fast, turf firm, rail at 0. Anchor notes in the first and in the second race as well. In the third, no high five, scratch number 5, Ice Queen. Fourth race begins the $1 pick 6 with no changes. Fifth race starts the $3 all-turf pick 3, races 5, 7, and 9 today. Scratch 2, Kiss for Lulu. Scratch 9, Jetfire. 2 and 9 out of the fifth. In the sixth, scratch 1, Judge Miller. Scratch 7, Rodrigo Knows. 1 and 7 out of the sixth. In the seventh, there are no changes. The eighth is the grade 2 San Pasquale, scratch 8, War at Sea. In the ninth, scratch 5, Mark's Hip, and 10, Giovinazzo. 5 and 10 are out. Golden Hour pick 4 starts with the 8th. Golden Hour double begins with race 9. Enjoy your day at Santa Anita Park. We are 57 minutes away from the opener, the Coast to Coast Pick 5. We've had huge payoffs and a carryover 1 week. It starts today with Gulfstream Park's 12th race at 1:55 Pacific. At this time, we go back to Quigley's Corner in the studio. Tom's special guest today is Billy Cutch of Little Red Feather.
Welcome back. We're talking horses with Billy Cutch. He's the managing partner for Little Red Feather. Little Red Feather has 2 morning line favorites on today's card, including in race number 1. So let's take a look at race number 1, Billy. It begins the 50-cent early pick 5. We're sprinting 6 furlongs in the flat turf course. This race is for maiden claiming 3-year-olds in for a $50,000 tag. The rails today are at 0 feet. Field of 6, number 4, Eligio is a first-time gelding, the morning line favorite and the current betting choice at even money. Did you make a bet already, but since you had to come down to the seminar?
No,
not yet.
I do not.
You said you're looking for value, not looking for value. I didn't know how to read that signal.
So last time I was here, I went full value. And I think I
stunk up the joint.
Right. And then the time before, though, if you remember, I was like 9 for 9. So I'm doing back to just taking chalk and just going to give out horses that are really obvious.
Well, let's talk about A Clap because it looks like the betting public thinks that he's obvious as well. First of all, the name A Clap. That's a very popular terminology that UCLA alumni use.
We like to be clever. His sire is Audible. sound, audible, or whatever.
And then bear.
And then bear is the dam. So audible, bear, UCLA, A clap. That's how we got it. All you USC fans, I'm sorry. My dad went to UCLA. There you go.
A clap, dropping down in class, LASIKs on, blinkers on before we get your thoughts on the race. And we know you like A clap, Billy. Let's take a look at a workout for A clap. This was on January 7th in a team drill with Gorilla Boy, who's an 0 for 3 maiden, but has continued to run in the maiden special weight ranks. This was a really good work. I thought A clap is there on the outside. Gorilla Boy is down on the inside. It's interesting. A clap has never run on the main track. Is there a reason for that? Because certainly on the main track this morning, it looks like he handles it.
I'm going to put you in touch with Jeff Mullins on that.
He calls all the shots, right?
No, I mean, he when we were getting him ready, just wasn't really handling it as a 2-year-old.
Look how wide they go here, Billy. I mean, 48 chains.
He's going. This was one of his better workouts, to be perfectly frank with you. I mean, could have been the blinkers, could be just that he's maturing a little bit.
Sure.
He gets LASIKs today. There's a lot of positives going into this race. But he just hasn't performed in the afternoon, Tom. And sometimes you have to try to at least put them where you think they might actually win. And
right.
That's the most important thing. You got to win in this game.
Of course, you got to pay the bills.
You got to pay the bills. So, we paid a lot of money for this horse for us, and unfortunately, he's been disappointing. So hopefully, these are his friends, and he can get the job done.
We know sentimentally as well as logically, you're putting A clap on top. But who do you think is his main competition?
Interesting enough, and this is kind of a strategy I like to employ. I took a first-time starter on the bottom, and that's out of bio. I think he's named after Bam.
I would imagine so, considering the owners are Slam Dunk.
Right.
Are they a partnership or an ownership syndicate? What's Slam Dunk?
They're a syndicate.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. And Nick does a really good job, and he bred this horse.
Yes, he did.
And a lot of times I like when there's a race that everyone kind of looks the same and there's not really a standout, I tend to go to the first-time starter because, truthfully, you don't know. And right now, if you look up at the top board, that's 9-1. That's value. I think that horse will get bet down a little bit.
One, and especially with Slam Dunk Racing as part of the ownership.
They're a good group.
They sure are. Race number 2, Billy, begins the 50-cent early pick 4. We're 1 mile on the main track. This race is for fillies and mares. $16,000 claimers, non-winners of 2 races lifetime. Field of 5, the Maury line favorite from the Red Hot George Parabon barn. Number 3, DeJorio, who is taking blinkers off. 8-5 according to John White. What's it like according to Billy Cutch?
Yeah, no, this horse should be tough today. I mean, George Parabon, I just realized is 4 for 8.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Good for
Takes
him.
blinkers off. Absolutely. All these horses have had plenty of chances. The one who has had I went to the one who has had, the second least amount of chances, and that's the One magazine. JJ Hernandez takes over for Peter off the left. Pete's been really hot as well. I mean, not as hot as he was in the fall, but he's winning races. I like this horse dropping in class, even though this horse is 0 for 2 at Santa Anita, gets the inside going a mile. Kind of a weak race. I don't have a strong opinion in this, but I did put the 3 second. DeJorio. I was kind of trying to beat the favorite.
Question for you, Billy.
Yes.
I don't know the answer, so that's always dangerous. But does Little Red Feather dabble in claiming horses? I know you do to a small extent.
No.
You claimed off Richie Baltus.
We claimed Red King for $30,000 and made him a multiple graded stakes
So what
winner.
goes into that decision making to drop the claim slip? Like, what are you guys looking at?
We have a fund every year. It's called the SoCal Fund.
The claiming fund.
It used to be called the claiming fund, but now we also do private purchases.
Of course you do.
So we do some European stuff. We do private purchases. We take minority interest, and we do claiming. So we have a couple of guys that we work really closely with. We have Phil. We have Jeff Mullins has claimed for us. This year we are working with Rick Dutrow, who wants to have more horses out here. And truth be told, Tom, we've dropped 1 claim at the meet so far. Got out shook. So we're looking every day, every race. It's basically what I do between like 7 and 9 p.m. every night.
Do you look for claims also outside of California well, to maybe for the ship and win program as well?
Absolutely.
Busy
man. You got to look everywhere.
Busy man.
Yeah, you never know where a good horse might be.
All kidding aside, thank you so much for bringing the horse population to Southern California. I mean, that's what horse players want. And I don't need to, tell you, the field sizes are struggling these days, and it's not a good equation at the moment.
It's not. No, we want big fields. Listen, the players and the people you represent every day in that Eddie Logan suite, I mean, those are the most important people of our game. They bet on the horses. They drive the purses. It's like
everything marches in tandem.
It's all a big circle. We all have to work together. I saw the whole Eclipse Awards speeches and everything, and I agree. We have to We got to work together.
We sure do.
Yes,
we
we
sure
do.
do. Long overdue. We're back on the turf course, Billy, on race number 3, sprinting 6.5 furlongs on the flat turf course. Again, fillies and mares starter allowance race. Scratch the 5 leaves us with a field of 6. Number 3, Fast Giselle from the Neil Drysdale barn had a good effort last time out as the 5-2 morning line favorite. What say you about race 3?
I do like that filly. I like Fast Gazelle. The horse that beat her last time, that Rugelach, is a nice
From
horse.
Ron Ellis's barn.
Ron Ellis and
Claimed off, was it Eclipse or Team Valor? One or the other. I can't remember. It was off Graham Motion.
I think it
Down
was
at Del Mar.
Eclipse.
Yep.
It's interesting that Frisu rode both Fast Gazelle and Aventap, and he had been a regular rider for Aventap, and he rides a lot for Mark Lott, who is also scorching the earth right now
Yes,
and
he
wins.
is.
And Frisu, you have to imagine, decided to run here. Tom Knuth does a great job to get off a Glatt, who's been his moneymaker so far at this meet, to ride Fast Gazelle. He must think really highly of this filly. I put her on top, and I just went with Aventap second. This filly's very consistent. Just won a weaker, claiming 25. Yeah, look at class two when you're looking at handicapping. That was 25 non-2 life. That's basically like the second to the bottom, because you could run in a 16 non-2 life. But on the grass, I think it's the bottom, 25 non-2 life. But this filly's been consistent. I mean, you look at her record, she's been 11 for 19 in the money. So that's why I put her underneath Fast Gazelle, who I think could get the money for my man, Neil Drysdale.
And Tom Knuth.
I call him Surreal Neil Drysdale.
Uncle Neil. Race number 4 begins the $1 pick 6 sequence today. We're sprinting 5.5 furlongs in the main track for 3-year-old fillies. $32,000 is the claiming tag. The stakes performer last time out, number 3, Bossy Bruin Gal. Here's that UCLA Bruin connection again from the Doug O'Neill barn, is the 8-5 morning line favorite. Single here or looking elsewhere for pick 6
I think
purposes?
she's going. Oh, for pick 6, I would not single in. She's going to be a really low price. I mean, Doug does this all the time. This horse wins, breaks her maiden for 32, comes back and wins for 32, then tries the Santa Ynez. Guess what? Copion, and is a little too tough for this filly. But you know what he does?
Richard Mandela
He
says,
goes right back in for 32.
Right.
So, I mean, she's obviously a threat. She's going to be 4-5. I like the filly outside, though, because here's another guy that's hot, Steve Miotti. When he gets hot, you got to pay attention, Tommy. And this filly won the starter up at Golden Gate, came back and run a decent enough in a 1 other than, only got beat 3 3/4 lengths, and now drops back in for 32. Miotti, sneaky. So I went with Miotti on front. He's cagey. That's a better word. You're right. Sorry, Steve.
And both Bossy Bruin Gal and Dory Miller, the number 4 horse that Billy was talking about, excuse me, I get you two guys confused. Dory Miller and Bossy Bruin Gal, the only 2-time winners in the field. We'll see if that matters.
There you go.
Come
that
post time, right? It could. Yeah. Race number 5 is one of the better races on today's card. It also begins the 50-cent late pick 5 and begins the $3 all turf pick 3. And we kick things off here going 1 mile on the turf course for maiden special weight Calbred 3-year-olds. There's 2 scratches in the field. Scratch the 2 and also scratch the 9. That leaves us with a field of 8. The morning line favorite is number 3, Clements Ride. Clements Ride last time out on December 31st runs in a very common race that many of these other runners exit as well. I found it interesting that Clements Ride last time out in his second career start actually did very well, going 2 turns for the very first time. Hector kind of saw what he had underneath him, and now today I think is the money run, particularly with first-time Lasix being added. Rather than believe what I'm telling you, why don't we watch the replay for Clements Ride and listen to Frank Miramati describe the action back on December 31st.
And they're off. Quick start for Twilight Moon. Takes 3, is up close, and now takes the lead. Kiss for Lulu, flashing foot. And Baby Waylon ensures an honest early tempo. So it's Baby Waylon getting off the lead. Kiss for Lulu is wrangled back in second. Then it's another length back to Takes 3 in the orange colors, racing in third. Down at the rail, Twilight Moon just cornering a bit wide. And outside of Twilight Moon comes Drive for Show in the purple, about 5 lengths off the lead. 2 more lengths to Clements Ride, followed by Run Bryce Run. It's a gap of 3 to the 2 trailers, Jimmy's Wild Boy. And at the back of the field is Motivating Force. Down the back stretch, and it's Baby Waylon setting the terms. 3/4 of a length. Kiss for Lulu is in second. 2 more lengths, Takes 3, and Twilight Moon is down on the rail, moving up to take third now, and about 2.5 off the pacemaker. Then Drive for Show, outside Clements Ride. Motivating Force has passed a couple of horses in the white colors on the extreme outside. The 2 trailers, Run Bryce Run and Jimmy's Wild Boy. Baby Waylon has been there throughout, maintains a neck lead over Kiss for Lulu coming to the quarter pole. Just behind them takes 3. Twilight Moon is down at the rail, and Motivating Force outside of that pair, top of the stretch, and Kiss for Lulu on the outside up to take a narrow lead. Baby Waylon not done, fights right back, and Baby Waylon has another gear. Baby Waylon, Kiss for Lulu, head and head to the wire. Baby Waylon finding another gear in the final stages to prevail.
Billy Clements riding the Ronus Racing Silks as we watch the gallop out here in the green and white silks of Ronus Racing. Actually puts in a really good late run. Unfortunately, that's a little bit too late for players who played him that day as the 2-1 favorite. Got bet down from a morning line of 9 I should say, of 9-2. This is the 3rd career start. We know horses make a big leap from start 1 to start 2. You expect another leap forward in start 3?
I do. I think this is a potentially a very I don't want to say it's cowbred, right? So it's a nice cowbred, but I went in a different direction. I really like Curlin's Chaos. I bet this horse first time out at 8-1. I thought that horse ran really well that day. Immelman came back and has run okay since then. Shady Tiger obviously came back to win for D'Amato, and this horse is fast. And if you watch that replay of that last race, what happened in that race, Tommy? First 2 horses went what?
Basically 1-2 all the way around the track.
Where's the speed in this race going to come from?
Especially with the scratch in number 2, Kiss for Lulu.
Exactly. Curlin's Kiss going to be on the lead in this spot, takes the blinkers off. So to try to get that 2 turn for Antonio Garcia, who knows what he's doing, even though he's 0 for 6 on the year. I like Curlin's Chaos in this spot, wire to wire.
You do, and you also like Clemens' ride to finish second. So
he's going to come on and finish second. Okay. I mean, that's easy.
Cold deck the exact.
Yeah, absolutely.
Race number 6 begins the 50-cent late pick 4. We're back on the main track. 1 mile and 16th is the distance. A big scratch here. The original morning line favorite, number 1, Judge Miller, has been declared out of the race, as is number 7, Rodrigo Knows. Now the revised morning line favorite at 6-5 is number 8, Flying Drummer, who's a first-time gelding. We haven't seen Flying Drummer in quite some time, Billy. So let's take a look at a workout.
Sure.
This workout would be on January 20th, not that long ago, and take a look at the workmate. The workmate is other than Newgate. Newgate is running against you in the Sam Pasquale Stakes. And I actually like by the way, inside is Flying Drummer, the gray horse. 47 and change for both of them. Kind of impressive off the long layoff. First time gelding, paid a lot of money, only 1 career win. What say you today about Flying Drummer?
Have you been gelded, Tommy?
I've been gelded a long time ago.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, you know the feeling, right?
Oh, man.
But it makes us focus more on racing.
Absolutely, like George Costanza. Remember? When he all he could think about was things to make him smarter.
What applies to humans, it applies to horses.
No, you know what? Honestly, I like Judge Miller. I thought Judge Miller was a standout in here.
What breeding he has too.
But he's not running.
No.
I could have easily slid Flying Drummer, who was my second pick, into the first pick.
And you're
right. I didn't want to do that because he's 6-5, 3-5, 4-5. So I'm going slightly back into my value because St. Elmo, I love St. Elmo's Fire as one of our, you remember that movie?
Of course.
Demi Moore?
Sure. That's when we weren't geldings.
Yes. Look at you, Tommy. Mike McCarthy does such a good job. Michael McCarthy. And this, if you just draw a line through the last race, which was on the Tapeta at Turfway Park, this horse fits. This horse has plenty of early speed, just won a starter the race before. Bolt Doro, obviously, winning, for our friend Mick Ruiz. Who bred this horse, and Holly and David Wilson. They've had very good success with Vladimir Sharin lately. I think they won a race over the weekend. Was it yesterday? Doncic?
Yep, yesterday.
Look at you.
Named in honor of the
Who's
Mavericks.
watching the races?
You are.
I know. It's sad. That's all I do.
So
but I'm going to go St. Elmo on top.
We watch races because that's what we do as geldings.
I think, that's exactly. That's all we do as geldings. Flying Drummer is shouldn't even say probably, is absolutely the horse to beat in here and probably will win.
Race number 7. We're coming down the Hillside Turf Course. It's an allowance race for Calbreds. Non-winners of 1 other than a field of 8. Morning line favorite from the aforementioned Stephen Miotti barn is number 2, Bronco Nagurski. Speaking of first-time geldings, he was gelded last time out, and look what happened.
Bingo.
Right into the winner's circle.
And guess what?
He's going to go right back today.
Back to back. Now, one of my things, Tom, you know this well. I don't generally like taking maiden winners first time against winners. That is the toughest jump in horse racing, but I did it anyway. So I did go with Bronco Nagurski. Kudos to Nick Alexander for coming up with all these crazy names of people.
They're not crazy.
Well,
Come on, he's innovative.
innovative.
Right?
He's innovative.
He
brings
is.
in a lot of
Very
things. Remember when the Roses matched up last weekend or whatever that was?
Yes.
Rose Dawson against Rose Maddox.
Correct.
He goes way back. He's got remember Pee Wee Reese? That was one of my favorite.
Babe Herman Ruth.
Babe Herman Ruth. He's got them all. I do kind of like Geezer. Tommy, there's a horse named the Chosen Brawn. I don't know if you've
I've heard
ever
of him. I kind of a little bit.
He's okay.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He's
So
not a
this
bad
horse,
cowbred.
this horse gets beat less than 5 lengths to the Chosen Brawn. If he runs back to that race, and obviously it's a surface switch, he can win this race too. So I like Geezer and I like Bronco Nagurski.
A couple of geezers here on the seminar set.
Geezer Gelding. We're gonna have to name a horse that.
But it's interesting, Billy, because I took a long look at Geezer as well. And here's the reason why. He has 2 races showing, or I should say 3 races showing in his past performances from Los Alamitos. 2 of them resulted in victories. And a lot of handicappers I respect tell me that horses like the Los Alamitos main track surface also like the turf course.
Yes.
So it makes a lot of sense for Geezer. Gets an outside post, comes back relatively quickly. Let's face it, there's no Chosen Bronze in here.
No Chosen Bronze in here.
Don't complicate it, right?
No.
Keep it simple.
I mean, look, it doesn't matter if he was 52 to 1. It doesn't matter if Chosen Brawn was geared down. He still was running third to Chosen Brawn and Brickyard Ride. That's class, Tommy.
And he ran that day, finishing a good third.
Absolutely.
Race number 8 is our feature race on the card. It's the Grade 2 Sam Pasquale Stakes, going 1 1/8 on the main track. It also begins the $1 Golden Hour Pick 4, linking our last 2 races here with the last 2 races at Golden Gate. Scratch the 8, War at Sea, leaves us with a field of 7. Take a look at who the morning line favorite is here, a horse that you're interested in, number 5, New Grange, fresh off a victory on opening weekend here, I should say opening day at Santa Anita, 5-2, according to John White, trained by Phil D'Amato. Let's first talk about New Grange.
Yeah.
Always hard to improve a horse once you take it out of the Bob Baffert barn.
Yeah, almost impossible.
Exactly. But you guys have actually done it and had a really nice career with this horse.
Listen, I don't know if he's improved. I mean, for Baffert, he was 3 for 3, basically, or 3 for 4. He won the Sham and he won the Southwest Stakes.
You're the defending champion of this race last year.
We are, Tommy, and that was a great day for New Grange. That kind of turned his career around a little bit. I'll tell you what about this horse. First of all, Phil D'Amato and his team have done a great job.
His wife,
Sherry. Oh, you saw the hugging
I
thing
did,
this
from
morning.
Jessica.
That was pretty amazing.
It was.
Yeah, it was like I got that text at 4:30 this morning.
That's why you're the managing partner.
He really likes Santa Anita.
Sure does. 4 for 6 is right in the form.
Horses for courses, Tommy. You hear people say it. It generally applies more like for Del Mar, especially in Southern California. It's like horses generally either like it down there or they don't. But this horse, for whatever reason, has an affinity for this racetrack. And he's getting better. His last work, I'll tell you a little secret, Victor was on him. And
Victor liked what he saw.
He was like, whoa.
Right.
I mean, he worked really well that day. That 59 is not a joke. He was 1 of 100. And so this horse is he's just feeling really good about himself. He's got a lot of confidence. He's surrounded by Bafferts. Newgate, we know coming up left, he ran huge last time against Big City Life. Sprinting. He gets the stretch out. So he's probably going to make the lead. There's not a lot of times when Baffert sits back, although he puts Rosario on this horse. So that's interesting because that's not really Joel's style too much, but he is good on the lead. Mr. Fisk ran right by New Grange and Del Mar. So if you think he can do that again here, why not Mr. Fisk? But I just like New Grange can make his own race. He can sit off Newgate. He can be in front if he wants to. He's got a lot of confidence right now, and we're really excited about his chances.
Let's see if New Grange can duplicate his performance in the Grade 2 San Antonio that I mentioned on opening day. He's going to break, or he's going to be wearing, I should say, saddlecloth number 4 here and emerge victorious with Irad Ortiz in the saddle. Let's listen to Frank Miramati describe the action back on December 26th in the Grade 2 San Antonio.
They're off. And Brickyard Ride is going straight to the front. New Grange hustled up for early speed. And Mixto comes away in third. Subsanador is fourth in the early going, passed now by Stiletto Boy, who sprints through to be a part of the pace as they move around the clubhouse turn. And Brickyard Ride will be the controlling speed, and understandably so. The brilliant sprinter has opened up a 2-length advantage on New Grange in second. Stiletto Boy comes through to be a joint third, and Mixto outside of him. Subsanador is in just a tad tight, having to steady ever so briefly at the back of this compact field that moves on to the backstretch with Brickyard Ride the target. 3 parts of a length to New Grange, keeping him honest in second. Then Stiletto Boy, Mixto, Subsanador is eager and tugging his way a little bit forward between those two. There's a half-mile left to go in the San Antonio Stakes, and they're chasing Brickyard Ride into the far turn, maintaining the lead by about 3/4 of a length. Newgrange in second. On the outside comes Mixtos, Stiletto Boy, and Subsonador. Those three in a line behind the top two. Brickyard Ride and Newgrange are now on even terms approaching the quarter pole. Newgrange on the outside. Brickyard Ride hanging tough at the rails. Subsonador at the rails. Stiletto Boy top of the stretch, and Newgrange tries to sprint away. Brickyard Ride's running a big race along the rail and not done yet. Subsonador still has 4 to make up in the final furlong. It's Newgrange well off the rail and in control. It will be Newgrange and Arad Ortiz Jr. to win the San Antonio.
That was fun.
Billy, not a straw in his path and an armchair ride. I think you or I could have ridden Newgrange that particular day, but congratulations to you.
Thank you.
You're expecting kind of a repeat performance in terms of running style?
You know what's funny? I asked Phil this, D'Amato, because I do these race previews for our people. I do these video race previews, and I said, what's the plan here? And he goes, the plan is we're not telling our plan. I love it. I have no idea. I'm being honest. I got no clue.
It's like a head coach disclosing the playbook,
Absolutely.
right?
No, we're not giving it out. Look, we're surrounded by Bafferts. I mean, Newgate's got speed. There's some speed inside of us. I don't know the plan, Tommy, but I know the horse is doing good. We call him Shamu. Have you seen his color? I mean, if you're here, go down to the paddock and look at this horse. He's a beautiful horse. He's like jet black with this big white face, just like Killer Whale. So we call him Shamu.
You know, you bring the passion to the seminar, which I always love, but truthfully speaking, that passion is what you see in all your owners' faces when they go back to the backside as well, right? Everyone's in it for financial gain, but the emotional side of the game is really what separates us from other sports.
I don't know if they're in it for the financial gain, because if they were, we wouldn't have too many owners, Tommy, to be perfectly honest with you. That's true. Most people just love these horses and love these animals. And I think you and I are the same. I mean, you love to bet on them. We talk about them, but we genuinely care for them and love them, and they're bred to do this. This is their job. This is what they love to do. And a horse like Newgrange, it's just great to be a part of it.
And you've also been instrumental in the aftercare programs as well. You're not just an owner for the racing days, you're an owner of the horse for the rest of their lives.
Absolutely. Ownership is, or what do we say? Aftercare is not an afterthought.
Correct.
So the president of Karma had been that way for several years now. Lucinda can't get rid of me. And no, it's really important. So if you are listening to this and you want to donate, you can go to Karma, karma4horses.org, I think is our website. If I messed that up, I'm sorry. But and it all goes to making sure that these horses have a home when they're done.
That's what it's all about. Race number 9 closes out the day.
I got choked up there.
I couldn't tell.
Sorry, Tom.
Race number 9 closes out the day, and we also offer $5 golden hour daily double wagering. Similar concept. Last race here with the last race at Golden Gate. It's a real good betting race. We're going 1 mile on the turf course. $32,000 of the claiming tag. 2 scratches. Scratch the 5, scratch the 10. Leaves us with a field of 8. Number 3, Flavius, who hasn't won in 2 years, but has taken a drop down in class for trainer Richie Baltus, is the 5-2 morning line favorite. Is there value in this race, Billy?
No, there's no value.
No value.
I originally liked the 10 he scratched, but great to see Richie back.
100%.
Great to see Richie back. I ended up going with his other horse. I was with Kaz this morning. That's what I call Kimura. I don't like KK. It's hard for me to say. But he likes Kaz. He likes Kaz.
Right.
Yeah, I did call him Sushi before.
He didn't like that?
No, he did.
Oh, he did?
He said I could call him Sushi because I love sushi. And when he came and we were Kazushi, like we were.
Sure.
But Kaz is his name.
Right.
Richie Baltus, I think he gets it done with Hurricane Cloud today in the last. And you know what I would put in my second?
Mike Pipey on the rail.
My man Mike Pipey.
Irish heat wave.
Talk about a little sneaky like Mayotte. Mike Pipey can get it done. He got hot too a couple of weeks ago.
The day he was on my seminar.
He was on the seminar and won those
3. Won 3 races.
So does that mean we're going to win 2?
The pressure's on.
Come on, Tommy.
Save some of that energy for the winter circuit, Billy. You totally are ready.
Since 6. I'm ready. I was in here early. I got here at 11:15 just to be on time.
And you saw what I did. Stroll in at 11:21.
Like right before the thing started.
Before you run out and cheer for A-Clap, a couple of promotions that I want to make sure that you're aware of as well as our viewing audience. First of all, you and I both have First Bet accounts. And today, with the Pegasus World Cup that we were talking about, they've got special promotions where you can make extra money just by playing through First Bet. Go to firstbet.com, sign up, get an account, and if you hit either the late pick 4 or the late pick 5, you get extra money deposited into your account.
Really?
Yeah, totally. Check it out.
How much?
Whatever you want to play.
So how much do you get back?
$5,000 is split amongst the winners.
Split whoever wins
in
gets
both
part
pools.
of that extra
So let's just say
5,000.
10 winners, you get $500 extra. That's a good deal.
That's a great deal.
And speaking of good deals, what about the Coast to Coast Pick 5? That's every Saturday and Sunday. Come on, how could you not? Have you seen the payouts?
You also like the late Golden Gate where it goes back
Golden
and forth.
Hour Daily Double. Bet a little to win a lot. Here's the sequence, Billy. Gulfstream Park race 12, basically almost 2 o'clock our time, but Gulfstream Park race 13, none other than the Pegasus World Cup. So the Pegasus World Cup race will be part of the Coast to Coast Pick 5 today, as you can see.
And then
dollar minimum.
Newgrange single.
There you go.
Boom.
So it's basically a Coast to Coast Pick 4. Billy, I can't even keep a straight face.
Good job, buddy.
Thanks so much for joining me, man. Best of luck today. Keep up the great work.
Appreciate it. Good luck, everybody.
Thanks to all of you for watching as well. Hope you enjoyed it. Keep in mind, live racing resumes tomorrow, 9 race cards starting at 12:30 p.m. Until then, good luck and have fun.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we ask that you please rise as we welcome Rick Tyree, Bill Frazier, and Bob Allen, the national anthem. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Santa Anita Park. The track is fast, the turf is firm, and the rail on the turf at 0 feet. Here are the changes. Blinker notes in race 1, start of the early pick 5. Blinker note in race number 2 as well. In the third, no high 5 wagering, scratch number 5, Ice Queen. The fourth race is the beginning of the $1 pick 6. Changes. Turning to the fifth, scratch 2, Kiss for Lulu, scratch 9, Jetfire. The $3 all-turf pick 3 starts with the fifth. In the sixth, scratch 1, Judge Miller, and 7, Rodrigo Knows. 1 and 7 out of the 6. There is a revised morning line. In the seventh race, there are no changes. The eighth is the San Pasquale. Scratch 8, War at Sea, start of the Golden Hour, pick 4. In the ninth race, scratch 5, Mark's Hip, and 10, Giovinazzo. Golden Hour Double starts with the 9th. Enjoy your day at the Great Race Place. An incredible card from Gulfstream Park for the Pegasus. Post time for the first is at 12:30. We once again offer the Coast to Coast Pick 5 every Saturday and Sunday, low 15% takeout, $1 minimum. It starts with Gulfstream's 12th race at 155.